Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to yet another video. Today's video is a bit different. I am doing a sit down where I'll be telling you guys about my life, what's going on, a life update per se. So I'm going to hope that you guys are going to enjoy this video. And to whoever is new here, hi boo, this is a safe place. This is where we are besties, and I hope you are going to enjoy this video. And to my returning besties, hi besties, welcome back to yet another video where I update you about my life. Enjoy.
You never feel the way I feel. You don't know if my love is real. Baby, listen to me, here's the deal. When you're not here,
I'm gonna try to make this video a little bit simple. Disclaimer, I did write a few of the things that I'm going to talk about here, so please don't mind when I pick up my phone, just to remind myself as to what I've planned. So basically, the first thing that I want us to have a conversation about is on therapy. I think in most of my vlogs previously I was talking a lot about how I'm going to therapy, how I'm always going to therapy. I think I was going there every Thursdays, if not Tuesday, at 11 a.m. I found my therapist that I have been wanting to be part of because I've seen the great work that she was doing for other people. So I figured I also want her. Why therapy? I chose therapy because for the longest time I've always wanted to experience why therapy, why people go to therapy. But for me personally, the moment where I decided, you know what, I really need therapy, is when I changed jobs. I know I'm an emotionally unstable or emotionally weak person. I don't like the word weak, but I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. So I went and did therapy. First, I did try it previously with this therapist. Disclaimer: this was my second therapist after like my first experience. With my first experience with a therapist, I never saw any change. I never saw any benefit of it, which is why I stopped and looked for another one. And I think for anyone trying to do therapy, you're allowed to change. You're allowed to move and shift to the next therapist. I hope that makes sense, because you're not forced just because you've spoken to this person for 2 weeks, you feel like they already know. No, even the therapist where I found peace at, she said, I'm going to give you 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, I'm going to ask you if you still want to do this. So that gave me comfort that even if I feel like I'm not sure, she was there to ask, are we continuing with this? Are you happy to be around me? Can you speak to me freely? Because that was her most important thing when it comes to me. She said, I have a thing of not opening up, which is why even these sit down videos are not a regular here, because up close and personal. So yeah, and then I chose to do therapy because when I changed my jobs, it was a whole lot of things. The working hours, the environment, and just being far from the people that I tend to be close with when I was doing therapy, when I was working at my previous workplace. So the shift was crazy, like very crazy, and I just felt alone because I had left everyone that I was used to working with at a different place. I don't know, I have a thing with change, so it was hard. It was really hard, and I was really feeling so lonely. I'm not even going to lie, I was feeling very lonely. So I then said, maybe it's time for me to find another therapist. I found the best when it comes to my personal needs. Love her so much. She has helped me so much. So now let's talk about the good and the bad of therapy. The good part about therapy is that you know you have someone you can count on. you can always look forward to talking about your certain problems to some, like knowing that you have a shoulder to cry on. And the best part about this one is that it doesn't go out. It's like a doctor patient relationship, so you're assured, besides God and your therapist, no one else knows about your issues. That gave me comfort, and it helped with my mental health. I guess I was able to improve my thoughts, my decision making, and all of that. The bad part is that you have to pay. So I used a private therapist because I had a medical aid then. So it was easy. And therapy is expensive, guys, very expensive. So it was easy for me to book my then therapist. And then government does also have therapists, especially in Babane government. It comes very highly recommended. So I would say go for it. And yeah. So I just wanted to take this time to encourage people to go to therapy. We all need therapy. In as much as you feel like you're comfortable in your life, everything is going well for you, it doesn't have to be the time where you feel like, oh my gosh, what's going on? A lot is going on. You have time to do it. Like, I feel like anytime, even when life is good to you, I feel like go to therapy as long as you talk, because some things just build up and then you just reach a breaking point. So not talking I don't recommend that. Find someone to talk to. It helps like a lot. I know it's hard to tell people your problems, hence I'm saying finding that one person that won't talk about your problem to other people, it's a great thing. So go to therapy, find a therapist, and find peace. It comes with peace. So the second thing I wanted to talk about, in terms of therapy, another thing that I noticed is that I had to stop due to personal reasons. I stopped going to my therapist. Guys, my life with a therapy, I'm nothing, shame. I stopped because of personal reasons, and trust me, given any chance, I'll go back, because I had always looked forward to that day where I get to express myself, speak, cry if I want to cry. Like, it's the best space to be, in a room with the therapist, letting you speak your heart and your mind. So life after therapy has been hard. I've been trying to find a way how to speak up, how to speak out, and not bottle things inside. Hence, I have a diary now. I diarize. Sometimes it's hard to even jot down the pen and write. Hence, I'm saying therapy is much better than you forcing yourself to write about your feelings and your thoughts and your day and your life, basically your relationships and all that. So yeah, just speaking makes it much better. So go to therapy. The other thing I want to talk about, a few weeks back, I was in a live on my Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, please take this time, go to Instagram, look for _Ngumalo and follow me. I took to Instagram on a live, and I was updating people, mostly because a lot of you guys here on YouTube were DMing me about a certain part of my life that I no more talk about, and you're DMing me, and that was very overwhelming me, and I was still in the healing process. So it was the toughest thing to bottle and keep to myself until I'm comfortable to talk about it. But I guess you guys just saw through me, hence you were writing to me, texting me, dude, what happened? So end of February 2024, we see 28th February, I received a letter where I was being invited at work for consultations concerning retrenching me. consultations went on and on until the final day where I was retrenched from work and I lost my job just like that. It was one of the toughest things I have ever found myself in. Like, I'm not even going to lie to you guys, I've never been okay since that day. I'm just winging life at this moment. So that's the part of my life, because I never spoke about me going to work. So you guys were like, what's going on? Why did you change jobs? And it was so hard not to respond. And I used to delete some of the comments on my vlogs asking about that, because I just didn't want to raise yeah, it was hard accepting, and it was hard moving on. I loved my job, like I loved what I did, and it was that career is a career that brought me into the space I was in and made me meet like a lot of people that are now very important in my life. So it was hard, still hard to wake up knowing that you're not going to work, because I'm counting 3 months now unemployed. But yeah, so the reason why I stopped therapy is because I can't afford it anymore, and I used my medical aid, which my former workplace cancelled right after I lost my job. So I couldn't go to therapy, and I know I can always go to government hospitals and get a therapist, but I have this thing that I just prefer my own therapist, and I feel like when I get better and when I find another job, I'll always go back to him. I'm not even going to lie. How has life been without a job? That shift. Hard. Adjusting was terrible. Remember, you guys, I tried going to the gym. Gym was for my mental care health. It had nothing to do with my weight or anything. I just wanted to stay sane, because when I'm in my house, I'm constantly thinking and crying. So I went to the gym, but that also didn't last because I'm unstable mentally and emotionally, and I had a thing of not being comfortable with people asking me, why you're here in this hour, and shouldn't you be at work? So that was my problem. And then I also wanted to talk to you about how I'm coping. I'm personally winging it, and I've found it hard to find any good in this, because apparently in every bad there's a good, right? And I think it's been tougher knowing that you are out here asking for help every time you get. I'm not one person to ask for help. I'm not one person to hit you up and say, dude, please, I need this, can you help me with this? I'm one person to work for myself. I work, I push, hence I was that good at my job. I believe I was good at my job. I don't know how they came to that decision, but deep inside I was good at my job, and losing my job like that has made me constantly question if I'm good enough, and that was the most painful thing to go through, doubting yourself. I've never thought I'll ever doubt how good I am and how great I'm doing in life until that time. So I don't think anyone ever speaks about how painful it is to lose your job and how painful it is to stay at home, wake up and not do anything. I remember the first few weeks I used to wake up at 6 a.m., which is the time I used to wake up going to work, and realize that no, Jude, go back to sleep. That was so painful, so painful. So I hardly coped. Like, I'd cry for weeks, not just days, weeks. Stay in my bed for weeks. My house was horrible. I still say I thank God that I never got rid of my helper, because she was the only reason I came out of the house. I know the first few weeks I tried to act normal, act like I'm doing solo dates, like I'm going out, having fun. That was me just pressing down the feelings at the moment. And I was vlogging a lot then because I had all the time, one, and it's the only thing that has kept me alive, because you have so many weird thoughts when you're alone and in a space of pain. You may even think you are just the most useless human being. You may even think you don't deserve to be here on this earth. So you might just think, well, if I don't deserve to be here, if no one wants me here, why must I be here? So it was very painful to see myself go through that. I'm not saying I'm fine now. I'm still going through those hoo-ha moments, but I'm just low-key winging it. So whoever is also going through the same thing as me, try therapy, pray, just find comfort in knowing that you trust God and God has his own perfect time. If you are gonna lose hope to the point of not trusting God, then you're really going down the hill. Because I got to the point where I was like, maybe me talking to you guys about God a lot was just annoying, and maybe me opening up to you guys was just you guys saying, hey, Nana. I swear I blamed myself so much that I wanted to stop this YouTube thing, because I blame myself for talking to you guys about all my achievements or what the Lord has done for me. And I blamed myself. Maybe God was like, but I didn't send you to tell everyone. I thought speaking about my life was the horrible decision that has brought me this job loss. But as days go by, I realized that I don't need to stop talking about God, even in this period of my life, because I believe it's passing. I believe there's a reason why I'm here. I believe that God is working to show off when it comes to my life. I know he's gonna show off, and I'm gonna be coming back, sitting in the same channel, talking to you guys about what the Lord has done for me, because I lost hope at some point during this time. But then I woke up one day and I realized that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God. So God knows exactly what he's doing, and I just hope and I'm faithful that by his good timing he will answer my prayers. So I pray, I apply. Almost every week I'm sending an application. Even now that I'm talking to you guys, I know there's an application I have to send before the end of the week. So it's been a roller coaster. It's been terrible. The weeks where I'll lock myself up, but to stand up and talk to you guys now, it's all because of God. Because God said, my child, don't lose hope. Trust me, I know. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. Trust my timing. And I've never looked back since I just said, I trust God. I trust his timing. He knows exactly what he's doing. So now I'm gonna tell you guys what I've been up to while I'm at home. While I'm at home, I'm getting closer to God. I'm reading my word. I'm watching a lot of sermons on YouTube. I am going to church, going to fellowships. There's this recent one I did last weekend at the Potter's World Church. It was the best thing I've ever been to. I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the speaker. Her name was Tracy Nyamunda. Like, she's the best. She was the best, and I think she was sent to me because she was speaking about the topic was wilderness to promise. So you are blossoming in a relationship with God. Her verse that stood out for me has to be where? I'm sorry, I'm gonna look at my phone, and I know a lot of people hate it when people like. She spoke about being in a space of receiving God, because she says we are all going to pass through the wilderness. So the wilderness to me right now is me being unemployed. I took it as, oh, okay, I am in the wilderness, and in the wilderness God is there, guys. How dark it is, how scary it is, God is there. So I believed that, okay, God is with me. I'm in the wilderness, I'm being tested, my faith is being tested. So what more can I do than just staying faithful to the Lord, trusting Him? So as I'm doing all of this, I'm going through all these emotions. Jeremiah 17 spoke to me when she was making her sermon, because there she was speaking about constantly looking for the goodness of the Lord. Kuko konke lokubi, because right now I feel like like I just feel like a lot of bad things are happening in my life right now. So the word says, in every good, constantly look for the good of the Lord. So I am constantly looking for God's goodness, even when I feel like I'm suffering. I've been constantly looking for, so what is it that God is saying right now? So why did God take me here? Okay, so God today says, so God, like, I'll be waking up, and there have been points where I'm thinking, this money that they gave me at work is running out, and I'm not sure if I want to go back home. I don't think it'll be a good idea. So God, can you provide for me until I find employment? There have been days where it's been dark, but the Lord has came through for me. I've never slept without food. I've never slept without electricity. They're just ways that the Lord comes through for me, through the people I have in my life. I do not take for granted the relationships I have, whether friendship, family, my parents, my sisters, relationships. I've never taken that for granted. Hence, I'm saying those people that have been there with me since this whole journey started have been placed by the Lord for a reason. So I just want to say that in everything that you're going through, no matter how bad or how hard, please constantly look for the goodness of the Lord, because it's there. And once you know what good is in it, your faith will never run dry. You'll constantly trust in the Lord. Then the third thing I wanted us to talk about, it's the process of applications. Guys, applying for a job is hard. I've done it before I got employed for the first time. So I know it's hard. You lose hope every day. You get regrets. You check your emails every morning. But like I said, I've been having that faith and hope in the Lord, because the only reason why I now believe I got to the situation is because of God. I don't want to blame anyone. I've blamed myself and people so many times. Now I've reached a point where I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just letting God do whatever. So I apply, of course, the Lord helps those who help each other or themselves, I guess. So I've applied, I'm applying, but if it's not from the Lord, I don't want it. And I always say that when I'm applying, Guti, Lord, if this is not for you, from you, I don't want it. And trust me, He answered me one day, a month or a few weeks after I lost my job. I went for a job interview in one of the publications of the country. And on my way there, I said, God, if this is not from you, or this is not the place for me, they should never call me back. They never called me back, guys. Have you ever been to a job interview hoping or at least get an apology email? Nothing. They never contacted me back. I cried because I thought, I'm a journalist. I cried. But then I remembered, but this was what I said I want from the Lord. So, the tongue, guys. The tongue. Speak it into existence. And, yeah. Speak it. How has been my relationship through this journey or this time? My relationships, let's talk about how my relationships have been also tested. Friendships, relationships, they have also been tested. I think every stage of your life brings out a different you or a better version of yourself. I don't know if I had the giver receiver vibe when I was still okay and before this journey, I guess. But now I'm at a point where I know when I lost my job, I shifted away from people. Closed doors, like that's just a reaction I usually have when I'm going through something. I stay in my house, I lock the doors, and that's it. Don't take calls. I probably don't post a joke, but that was just my life before. That was my life before I decided that there's no need to cry. So I'd say maybe my friendships, my relationships are tested. There are some expectations that I had when it comes to certain people that I wish I didn't have. You know, when you know someone and you think you're close to them and you have this expectation that I wish this person would do this for me, or rather the things that you think if they were in your situation you would treat them like that. I think having expectations has been the hardest thing to realize for me, because I realized that I don't need to have expectations because they're tarnishing, they're spoiling the whole thing for me, the whole experience, because now I'm expecting this friend to treat me like this. I'm expecting this friend to do this for me. So I think relationship wise, I've been tested through this time, and some it's good tests because I feel like it just tells you the bond you have with a certain person, and such, you know how hardships always reveal your true people. But in Jelamanye, I always feel like even if I have like a phase where that friendship or that relationship is a bit rocky, I feel like some of those things I've brought them to myself because of me closing the doors away from people. I have that thing, but I think people that really understand me, they know, and they always, when I come out, they are always on the other side. I found them waiting for me because they understand that I'm going through it. So yeah, that has been the whole thing. So the next thing I want us to talk about is faith. How do I keep up the faith for myself? I'm young in this journey of faith, I think. It's hard to keep up faith, guys, especially if you're going through a hard time. You experience this thing for the first time, I guess, and it's hitting you hard. Now you must keep the faith and hope that something good is gonna come out. And you see the months going, second month, first month, third month, fourth month, Haibo. Kani, isn't faith supposed to lead me to the next destination? So I'm trying by all means to bring the Lord next to me all the time. I read the word. I'm always just finding fellowship where I can find it, just to keep company with the people that are going to increase my faith. I'm young in this faith thing. I'm not that old. I keep faith by speaking to my mom. My mom is a very hardcore Christian, a prayer warrior, everything. So I speak to her. I contact her whenever I feel down. We pray. I find prayer the most calming thing. It has been the one thing that has helped me to stay calm throughout the situation, because whenever I feel like, oh my God, what's going on, I'm not okay, in villaging random speak to God, pray. Even in the car, I'll be driving, overcome by emotions, cry, and then remember that they will pray. So my type of prayer is not Kuti Baba. I have a conversation with God. I tell him exactly how I'm feeling, and I tell him exactly how this thing is affecting me. So if losing my job is making me suicidal, I tell God, God, this thing is making me think things that I don't want to think. So please come through for me, because I can't fight it anymore. And God always comes through. I don't know how, but you just feel calmer after speaking to God. So that's how I have been keeping faith. Otherwise, I'm currently not okay, but I'm learning, I'm adjusting, and I think content creation has been keeping me sane. I won't lie, it has been keeping me sane, knowing that I'm just taking content, living in the moment, and realizing that when the Lord answers my prayer about a job, I'll miss this time. So living in the moment, doing the things that I couldn't do when I had a job, is helping me so much. So I hope you guys are updated about me and are motivated about what I have spoken about. So that's it. That has been what is going on in my life, guys. I hope you guys are going to enjoy this video, and I hope it touches someone and it motivates and it keeps someone alive out there. We're all going through a lot, and I just pray that the Lord is with us and He's guiding us in all the situations that we find ourselves in. Just always know that God is bigger than whatever situation you're in. Whatever problem you're in, God is always bigger. Trust in Him, have faith in Him, and everything for you will be fine. It's hard. It's hard. I'm not even going to lie, but it's the faith, it's the trust in the Lord that is keeping me alive and everyone else. So have faith, trust the Lord. He's our Savior. He's gonna come through for us in His perfect timing. Thank you so much for sticking around this entire video. I've been talking for a very long time. I just hope you guys are going to enjoy it, are going to interact. You can just comment, guys, give words of encouragement. Someone else might be watching and going through the same thing. Just give words of encouragement on the comments, share the video, and like, subscribe. Thank you so much. See you guys on to the next video. Lots of love from me. Bye, besties.